we just had hard-coded 18 or 17, but you want to ask the user what their age is. So we do a console.write line like this, and you say, what is your age? And then you do a console.read line. So that is going to read the line entered into the console, and it's going to wait here until you give a response. Now, this is another thing that you have to learn about casting. So types. If you have an integer type like this and you're asking for input from the user, it's usually in a string. You're usually typing a message or something. So we're going to need to cast it. So we need to use int.parse. So parse is a function that belongs to this integer type, and it allows us to convert a string, for example, into an integer if that string is a number. If it isn't, we're going to get a little crash. And there are ways that you can avoid that by using a try-catch block. So what we're doing is asking for the age, and then we're asking for the input at the age, then we're asking for the input, and then we're able to do something with that down here. So if I run this now, you'll see get a little error online. So if we get an error, you just read the error and you see it says it's on line 5 in main.cs, so it's here. So what's the problem here? Console does not contain definition for we need to put semicolon on the line before. That might have been it, but we're defining age here, and then we're saying pass whatever age I put in there. So as long as I put an age, so if I put 20, then it says you are a young adult, you can get served alcohol. So this is true, even though this is false, this is true, and therefore you can get served. Right. So that brings me quite nicely onto the puzzle, or in the document. So in the link below in the article, after we've sort of described what this is about, and you've watched the video and you've looked at W3C schools, so you've made sure you've understood all the different operators, and I'm not sure why that's not pointing to conditions, but that should be pointing to conditions, so I'll just change that now. There's a little puzzle, and that's how you get really good at programming. You get better by solving puzzles. You don't get better by just reading documents and looking at code, but you get better by solving those puzzles. So if I copy that now and I put it into here, like this, copy, and then paste it. There we go. That will link to that article. So what you have to do now is you have to do this COVID test. The first thing you need to do is ask them for their temperature, and then you need to store that response in a variable called temperature, and then you're going to need to create an if statement. So this if statement is going to check if, firstly, the temperature is less than 36 and greater than 34, then that means you're healthy. So it needs to say you're healthy, you don't have COVID. Then we need to have another else if statement where we need to check if the temperature is over 36. And if it is, it says you have got COVID, you're not healthy. And then we want a final else condition. So if it's not between 34 and 36 and it's over 36, then that means it's under 34, and that means that it's very, very dangerous. You could be very sick. You may need to go to hospital if your temperature is that low. So see if you can have a go at building this in a replit, and once you've had a go at it, put the answers in a comment below, and I'll take a look at it, and if it's an open replit, I might be able to comment back and help you fix any issues.